going on, everybody? Burger Creations back here with another video. Before we get into the video, I kind of want to talk about where I've been for the past month and why I kind of went on a hiatus. Now, if you wanted to skip right to the video, I'll leave a timestamp right here. That way you can skip right there and get right into my 3D printing setup for 2021. So I haven't posted for about over a month. I believe the last video I actually made was announcing Burger Creations 2.0. And the first reason why I stopped kind of posting was the amount of support for the Etsy shop. Like the products that I launched was incredible. I was honestly backed up, and this printer was pretty much printing 24/7. I literally didn't have, or I had time, but the printer literally didn't have time for a break, as I was just pumping out mainly Razor Crests to everyone out there who bought them on my Etsy. So if you were one of them, a big thank you and a huge shout out to you guys, because it was honestly awesome to see how much support my first product launch got. Big reason I couldn't really make videos is because I didn't have an actual printer to make videos on. It was being used so heavily to keep up with the shop, I couldn't actually film a video or print something and then film a video. And that was one of the main reasons why I didn't make a lot of videos. Towards the end, when things started to slow down, I really got caught up on my products. I started running into some health issues, so that kind of stopped me from making videos. And also, it was the holidays, I kind of wanted to spend time with my family. And I was actually going to post a video last week, kind of the first Friday of January. However, I went skiing, ended up getting a concussion, and yeah, I couldn't film then either. So that leaves us here on the, I think it's the second Friday of January. I might be wrong on that one. I'm filming this on the 12th, so it'll come out this week, this Friday. Anyway, guys, Happy New Year, Happy 2021, and let's hope this year is a banger and a much better year than 2020. So I wanted to film this video because I thought it would be a great way to showcase my 3D printing studio. Because I know when I was looking to create a lot of my get my 3D printing stuff and get some ideas from the studio, I didn't find many videos out there to kind of help me to figure out what I should buy, or maybe some organization techniques to use. Maybe I just kind of sucked at searching and I couldn't find it, and they're out there, but I don't know, I didn't really find it. But I also wanted to make this video because it'll kind of keep it as a log, because this will not be my final 3D printing studio. I mean, I only still have one printer. I already know I want to get another printer, and I'm hoping to get that sooner rather than later. But I kind of want to keep this almost as a log. That way, years from now when I look back, I can kind of see where my 3D printing studio all started from. So this is a 2021 edition of Burger Creations 3D Printing Studio. Without further ado, let's get into this. So obviously the first thing we're going to talk about is the thing that makes the entire studio run. That is the 3D printer itself. So this 3D printer is the Ender 3 V2. This is one of the newer additions that Creality has made. It has a silent motherboard, as well as kind of just a better display than a lot of the other ones. And honestly, this printer has worked extremely well for me. It has given me some amazing prints, and I actually had the Ender 3 Pro before I had this printer, and I had many problems with that printer, with prints failing, the head getting stuck, or it just crashing. So I'm really happy with this printer, and honestly, it's a great budget printer and a great beginner printer to get started, because it gives you that big print area, it gives you that high quality print, but it's simple to use, and it's also affordable in my eye. Now, this Ender 3 printer also has 3 upgrades equipped to it right now. It has an upgraded extruder, has the upgraded Bowden tubing with the upgraded couplings, and then finally upgraded bed springs. Honestly, I should have upgraded these things right away. These things did cost me some time. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll see that I actually lost a lot of printing time, and I had my machine break down because the extruder started breaking, and then my springs broke, and my tube got clogged. And honestly, if you're getting a printer, just get the upgrades right away. They're really easy to install, and it will save you a lot of time and a lot of headache in the near future. I want to talk about kind of what's around my 3D printer. So I actually have my 3D printer almost in a fume tent. So this is, I think it's like a fume or fireproof tent from Creality itself to put their machine in, and I did this for a couple reasons. Number one is one for safety. You know, things can happen. I highly doubt, especially since I have the upgraded motherboard in this machine, I highly doubt this will burst into flames, but we're working with hot materials and there is a chance that this could, you know, go up in flames. So I rather kind of keep the damage inside of it without going everywhere, so this flame tent kind of keeps everything inside, which is really good. The second reason is to keep the conditions and elements on the outside away from affecting the print. I know when I have this thing shut, I know nothing, no wind, no gas, nothing can kind of go in and mess up my print as it's going. It's a lot more of a heated, controlled environment inside that little tent. And lastly is actually kind of a health reason. I was doing some research. I also put this in another video, but I'll put this up real quick. I'll talk about this real quick. I'm doing some research just about the safety of PLA, and I found out, you know, yes, PLA that I'm using is, you know, natural and biodegradable. However, there's still some elements in there that when it gets melted, it can kind of build up in your lungs, and it's not that healthy to breathe in. And since I have enough health issues, I decided I don't want any more. So this tent kind of helps keep all the harmful particles together, and then it's going to filter out to the right side into my next item, which is HVAC filter, or a HEPA filter, air purifier. So this air purifier has a HEPA filter built into it in order to filter out those particles and give fresh air. That way I can work down here while the printer is printing itself. So I created that ventilation system. That way I'm safe for working down here. It also smells a little bit better, even though PLA doesn't smell at all, but I don't smell anything now. I just get my fresh air and everything is good. 3D printer and all of its stuff, such as the fume tent and the air purifier, it sits on an IKEA table. This IKEA table was here before my printer even was here, so I didn't buy the IKEA table specifically for the printer. But honestly, it works really well. So this IKEA table was actually kind of bought for tabletop games, you know, such as like Star Wars Armada, Axis and Allies, just regular board games such as Monopoly, or really whatever, because I am a big board game person. But this 3D printer works perfectly, so I can put it on the back end. I have plenty of space in the front to do some working on projects, moving supports, airbrushing, painting, cleaning, really whatever I gotta work on in the front. I have plenty of space, and I also still have plenty of space with the 3D printer on it to still play my games. So it's honestly a win-win. Now directly to the left of my 3D printer is basically all my 3D printer supplies. Now this is actually just an 8 cubicle organizer from Target. It's honestly really cheap. I think it's only like 40 bucks. And I looked online for a lot of stuff and they're a lot more expensive. And this works really well. So if you need some organizer for your tools or for your 3D printing area, this works extremely well. So going from the top to the bottom, on the top shelf, I kind of have just bunch of random stuff. I have my 3D printed diamond play button. If you didn't see that video, I'll link that down below. I have an award that my brother gave me for the best man speech because I gave one hell of a speech. And I also have my lamp. That way if I need to get closer, I can kind of pull it down and shine light onto the 3D print so I have clearer vision. Now right under it, I have my painting materials to the left. That's where pretty much all my acrylic paints are and different model paints, as well as my brushes. And then to the right is my brand new tool that I just got and actually haven't even used yet because I'm waiting for something else to come in the mail. But that is my brand new airbrush. That's the Master Airbrush. I think it's a G22. I might be correct, I might be wrong, but I'm excited to use that, and I'm hoping that it'll give me an edge on my detail painting for my prints, and also helps me a little bit in the speed. But right so far, I've only used it as kind of an air compressor, you know, like compressed air to clean off things, and honestly, that works really well too. Right under that are my filaments. Now to the left, I have a lot of my special filaments, such as marble and copper and a couple other ones, and to my right is more of my general filaments that are just pretty much black and gray, which I kind of print most of my prints out of. But I'm telling you, the copper filament is one great filament. I'm probably going to make a video on it, but everything that it makes comes out just stunning. Right under that, to the left, I have some extra parts from my 3D printer. It includes like an extra Bowden tubing and some other supplies, as well as just my my cutting board. I guess you'll call that a cutting board, I'm not sure. But cutting board, that way my table doesn't get damaged, even though honestly my table is pretty damaged. I got spray paint, I stabbed with a knife because I wasn't using a cutting board. But anyway, I digress. Now right to the right of that is all the rest of my tools. I mean, honestly, I don't use that stuff a lot. I use the X-Acto knife a lot, but honestly, and the sandpaper, but a lot of that stuff I don't use too much. I'm not really going to go through it. I will go through the most tools, or the top tools that I use the most. Now, my last row on the bottom left, I have just basically a junk drawer. It's a drawer full of different 3D prints and just a bunch of different stuff. I mean, I have some Among Us ones in there. I have some turkeys. I just have a bunch of random things in there. And then finally to the right is a cubicle just full of my spray paint. And I'm hoping to kind of get rid of that now, since with the airbrush, because I hate spray painting. It's not precise. I don't know. It always gloops up on me. I'm not that good with spray painting, I guess. I hope I'm better with an airbrush. We'll find out. But I don't know. Not in love with spray paint. So last but not least, I wanted to go through my top tools that I use. So the first thing is just a simple wire cutter. These wire cutters just kind of help with everything. It either helps unclogging my nozzle if I get like a built up, so I can snip it off. It helps removing some extra filament, or if it really just helps to cut anything I need. The next thing I have is a flathead screwdriver. This is just to help pry off supports. I have then 2 types of pliers. I have one regular small types of pliers, and then I have one vice grip pliers. These are also to help remove supports and kind of help with the 3D print, as well as sometimes remove the nozzle if it gets stuck enough, or just really whatever I need it for. Anyway guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment and a like down below. Tell me what your favorite part is. This has been my 3D printing studio for 2021. I hope you all enjoyed. If you also had some comments of some things I can improve, or some things you guys know about that, hey, this would work actually really good for your studio and help you out, also leave that comment down below, because I'd love to hear it. I'm open to criticism, and I always want to get better. I know this isn't the best 3D printing studio, but this is what I've had, and it's been working for me so far. Also guys, make sure you go follow me on Instagram just to get updates about the channel and just kind of get other content, 3D printing content. And I have posted a lot of updates on what we're doing next. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed, and that's been it. Peace.